two cheeks of the same backside is the most popular phrase I have ever coined because it so aptly describes not just the general political situation, but the debate on this very budget itself. I just want to say that having given both parties a good spanking on the 29th of February, I've got my boots on to give them a good kicking any time I catch your eye.
Hello everyone, welcome back to My Left Eye. George Galloway, the Workers' Party of Britain MP, whose victory in the Rochdale by-election 3 weeks ago caused a media sensation, has given his first speech in Parliament. At last week's PMQs he wasn't referred to by the Speaker of the House, Lindsay Hoyle, but in a session earlier today he was given the chance to have his say by a Deputy Speaker. Some of his opponents claim that Galloway would not be interested in local issues and instead focus on the occupation of Gaza, a topic he's been outspoken about for some time and no doubt contributed to his recent re-election to Parliament. Though in this clip he spoke about how the northwest town has suffered from decline at the hands of the Tories and also took a swipe at Labour's Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham. Let's see what's happening.
On this, the 7th time I have been elected to Parliament with today. The minister was bright and breezy, but frankly, all the spices in Rochdale could not give flavour to what can only be described as a nothing burger of a budget. An absolute nothing burger, and the response from the so-called opposition in this House equally vacuous. The shadow minister bridled when the SNP accused them of accepting the Tory spending limits. But he had no right to bridle because everything that is being said by the leader of the opposition, by the shadow Chancellor of the Exchequer, accepts the economic orthodoxies of the Conservative government. And look where these economic orthodoxies have led us. The minister talked breezily about children getting help where they need it, busy doctors and nurses in the NHS. What about us in Rochdale? We have a new infirmary that's like a ghost town, Madam Deputy Speaker. Do you know that in Rochdale you cannot give birth? No one in the town of Gracie Fields will ever again be able to say they were born in Rochdale unless, unfortunately, in a taxi on the way to Bury or on the way to Oldham. We don't even have a postcode. Our postcode is OL, a subdivision of Oldham. This town, which was once one of the most prosperous in England, is now one of the poorest, abandoned, not just by the government, but abandoned by the Mayor of Greater Manchester, for whom I have no animus, quite the contrary, at least until recent weeks. But he has to understand that he's the Mayor of Greater Manchester, not just the Mayor of Manchester. What about the towns around Manchester who get the wrong end of the stick? Imagine a town where you can't be born. Imagine a town where you can't die. They've taken away the A&D service also. During my campaign, in which I garnered more votes than the Conservatives, than Labour, than the Liberal Democrats, than the Reform Party, all of them put together, proving my point that actually outside in the country, most people feel a wish for a plague on both of their houses. Two cheeks of the same backside is the most popular phrase I have ever coined. Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak are two cheeks of the same backside. And they both got well and truly spanked tonight here in Rochdale. Because it so aptly describes not just the general political situation, but the debate on this very budget itself. The Truth is, you can't even be banged up in Rochdale. If you get arrested, there's not even a police cell that they can take you to. In the course of the campaign, an old lady in a care home fell ill, took a turn. The ambulance took 45 minutes to reach her and didn't know where it was going to take her. And neither did her relatives gathered around anxiously, because the ambulance driver had to find which A&E in the Greater Manchester area they could take her to. If it took her 45 minutes to get to another A&E, I've no idea what might have become of her. We are a town that has been abandoned by the state. We're a town that's increasingly abandoned by the Mayor of Greater Manchester. Half of the children, 50% of the children in two of the biggest wards in the parliamentary constituency are officially living in poverty. Half. Disgraceful. What was there in the budget for them, Madam Deputy Speaker? All the chuntering and joshing and japing matched by the other side. What was in the budget for those poor children needing help but no help forthcoming? Levels of child poverty in Rochdale are amongst the worst in the entire country. My goodness, 14 seconds left. How it flies. I just want to say that having given both parties a good spanking on the 29th of February, I've got my boots on to give them a good kicking anytime I catch your eye.
So there you have it. Let us know what you make of that speech in the comments. He's certainly a unique figure in British politics and has often been controversial. I agree with those sentiments he spoke about in the House of Commons, and I do agree with his stance on Gaza, of course, as I do with his views on the occupation of Iraq as well. But other issues such as climate change and Scottish independence, I do have to say I disagree with George. But it's always interesting to see him speak in Parliament though, and as expected he gave an enthusiastic performance in his first oration in the chamber since being re-elected. Perhaps he'll be called upon at tomorrow's PMQs, we'll have to see, but you can catch our live stream for the full session of that tomorrow. Please do join us. We will also be launching the Rishi Sunak Stop the Boats game. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that as well. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe and thumbs up buttons to help us out on the algorithm. We've also now got the membership programme open with some great perks for you to enjoy starting from just 99p. Hit the join button or follow the links in the channel description. If you'd like to make a one-off contribution, then please hit super thanks on the video or follow the link to our Buy Me a Coffee page where you can help to show solidarity and support the channel for just the price of a tasty hot beverage. All contributions are greatly appreciated. Thanks again everyone. My Left Eye, be seeing you soon.